more work for me. Welcome, episode unknown, season 2. We're sure of that. This is the drop. That is Quinn Bishop. This
Hello, everybody.
Is the holy chapel of new music.
Season 2.
What is my hair doing? Anyway, welcome aboard. We got a lot of new music to talk about. Quinn, kick us off.
All right, we're going to mix up. We get a bunch of great new music as well as a few things we didn't get to catch last year because they slipped past us. So here we go. This week, the 4th album from the Lumineers. I'm using CD suits. From the Lumineers.
Okay.
It's called Brightside, and by all accounts, their last record was really kind of moody and dark, and this one is a little more, let's say, uplifting than the previous record, which is probably what people need about now. But multi-platinum, Grammy nominated band. There used to be 3 people in the band, and now there's just 2. They all went and made solo records, and this is kind of a return to a band model, but by all accounts, supposed to be a great record.
Very cool.
They're kind of due. I mean, the last record missed radio a little bit, because it was so moody, but we'll see what this one does.
CD only, or is there vinyl?
No, there's vinyl here. It's just not here yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
it's probably in a
new
box
release.
Right
It's like not even out of the box yet.
Yeah,
continue, my friend. Continue.
Jamestown Revival. Are you familiar with these guys? They're an Austin folk duo. Their new album is called Young Man. Now, this is their 4th album. They played the store before. Excellent group, I would say. Folk by definition, but there's a lot of country elements going in there and a lot of kind of Americana, almost California leaning stuff, steel guitar, things like that.
You like it?
Yeah, they're cool. They're really
nice.
Good. Hardworking guys. And let me tell you, for independent artists to be on album 4, that takes some grit and gumption to keep going through. And they play all the time. Yeah. Good band. And this is noteworthy to viewers because our friend Robert Ellis produced the record.
Love Robert Ellis.
Yeah.
What a good dude. I love him.
Good dude.
Check his music out too.
New record from that. Great harmonies on this record.
Cool,
so if you're a fan of vocal music, that's something to check
Love it.
out. People have been waiting a long time for a new record.
Oh,
from
yeah,
this
for
artist.
sure.
There's a brand new Cat Power record. And we talk about sleeve face records.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sleeve torso record.
See, tune it up. There it is. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Nice.
So interesting thing with her, she really, I think, kind of vaulted to. She had a record of all originals that was big very earlier on her career, which really kind of set the tone for a lot of other indie records that were coming out. I think her covers records are where she really, really excels. And on this one, you've got this is I think the 3rd one. You got covers Nick Cave, Iggy Pop, The Pogues. Oddly enough, Frank Ocean. Curious what that's going to sound like. That's
an
cool.
Interesting pick.
But I think her covers records are fantastic. Great voice.
Yeah.
For people that aren't familiar with her.
Feels like she went away for a little while too, though, right?
She did. I think the records are kind of coming quick for a while, and then she's been in this groove where there's only one every 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. And the originals album.
Oh, she does Endless Sea by the Pogues.
Oh,
cool.
Nice choice.
Cool.
Choice stuff.
On gold vinyl.
On gold vinyl.
Always
Store
have to
exclusive.
People want to know the color.
Gold vinyl. Okay. One of my favorite artists, Elvis Costello, has a brand new record, and it's Elvis Costello and the Imposters, which I think is one of the best plays on names because he had a long-standing beef with his bass player, Bruce Thomas, who left the group, so the attractions became the Imposters. And so this is a new record, interesting concept. The last record was very kind of acoustic bass, kind of a pandemic record. This is like a full tilt boogie rockin' record. And the concept is it's short stories written like a children's book. So I'm not sure how this plays. Haven't heard it yet, but it is getting outstanding reviews.
Really?
And I'm looking forward to hearing it. He does every 3rd record, 4th record, he clicks into the sound that I really love, which is his kind of classic rock.
We all know as Elvis Costello. And the last one we talked about was all the artists from South America that did.
Yeah, that used the master tapes.
Yeah, that used the master tapes
from this year's model, and with all Spanish artists covering, which was a very, very cool record. Really fun.
Great idea.
And that was that was his vision to do that. I think that's
great idea.
Cool. Next up, this band, Garcia Peoples. I don't know. They have made a bunch of records. They are from New Jersey. Very down in it with the 60s and 70s jam band. Grateful Dead. So you might think, Garcia Peoples is a play on Jerry Garcia.
Right.
And so they're very jam bandy, but I would say where a lot of, a lot of that stuff teeters on more on the fish thing. This is more psychedelic.
Right.
Staff loves it. Staff favorite. We have a couple employees. Jonathan here. That's one of his favorite modern bands, and they make a lot of records like their contemporaries that you love so much. King Gizzard. They make a lot of records.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're. I think they're more
produced by Matt Sweeney.
There you go. There you go.
Cool. I like Matt Sweeney.
And here's one we missed at the end of last year. I think it just kind of arrived in the middle of the week, and we missed picking it up. But Walk the Moon is a band that people might be familiar with. They sold a lot.
They've sold a lot of records, man.
You know,
I don't love them. I mean, they're okay.
It's a pop thing, right?
Yeah,
it's a very, very pop thing. They took 4 years off. This is their all-up record. They lost a band member too.
Yeah.
In hanging out with the Lumineers, I guess. But you take 4 years off and you're a big pop band. You really got to come with it, and that's what people are saying that this record is. If you're a fan of the band, that it's a strong record.
Wait a minute. Fire in Your House featuring Johnny Clegg. God, that's a name I haven't heard in a million years.
Big African
Afrobeat
artist.
Savuka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, for your return for them, and again, maybe this is going to keep coming up more and more. That would be a great thing. The vibe on this record is it's really upbeat and positive. Even though it's a pandemic record, so we need some of that, right?
And I think it looks like they're sitting on a giant egg yolk or something, right? What
is
is that? It's
I
like
didn't
a
pick
fried
up on
egg.
that. Give them the close up. It totally looks like that.
That's what I'm here for. Just the color.
You
Just the
got
color.
it. You got it. Okay. New artists. This guy, Jacob Bryant.
Yep.
Are you familiar?
I've heard the name.
Okay.
I haven't heard the music, but
Jacob
I've definitely
Bryant,
heard this name.
Like a very, very young guy, country troubadour. Has just played every bar room, been making records.
He was on one of these artist to watch things.
And that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
He is an artist to watch. People raving about him. My friend David Macias, who owns this label, 30 Tigers, has said that he just anticipates him being a huge star. And if you think country music makes that struggle and hard stories make for good country music, this kid was addicted to alcohol and drugs when he was younger. Had a heart attack at 19. And managed to pull himself.
Apparently, he's managing it pretty well. Or I don't know if he's just trying to. If he's trying to be kind of ironic, but his shirt says "whiskey helps." So, not seriously, kids, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm getting some mixed messages from.
I don't know, right?
But anyway, so the word. This is supposed to be a terrific record. Just came out this week, and again, beginning of the year is when you want to launch new records. It's not as much more shelf space to.
Do you have a hat?
Not
Is there
handy.
A hat here?
We
we'll
can
shop for that later.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to derail the show. Hit me.
Any more than
I already do.
Okay. New record from Bonobo, Fragments. I don't know if our viewers are familiar with these guys, but
so was Bonobo making waves right before the pandemic? Because it feels like that's the first time I heard the name.
Had a bunch of records, played a part in a bunch of production on records. UK guy. His name is Simon Green. Really, the dance electronica genre.
Right.
Big festival artist.
Right.
And I think this is one that it's getting amazing reviews, and I think it's one of those artists that when you can go back to clubs and festivals start happening again, you're gonna be seeing this guy's name everywhere. Yeah. That's what he does. But anyway, if you love dance music, that's a new one to check out.
Love it.
And I'm curious if you remember this one. If you remember, do you remember this band, The Tea Party?
No.
Okay. This is an anniversary reissue of their 1991 release, self-titled debut album. Canadian band that really wanted to be Led Zeppelin. You look at the cover. They're really working hard.
How close did they get?
I think it's
sonically.
Sonically, I think the hold up there is the guitar player. Can't really pull it off.
Well,
I mean that's a tough part. So singer's great.
Yeah.
Super charismatic frontman. I think the material's pretty great. They made a bunch of fans because they were one of the few bands that were doing this at the time that this record came out.
Yeah. When the world went grungy.
Yeah, I think it's worth a listen. I think it's cool. It's an interesting time capsule because there really wasn't a lot that was coming out that sounded like it. It was really kind of
plus
grunge era, and then this was like the hard rock 60s leaning band that people could kind of relate to. They didn't really make it in the States, but more a Canadian thing. But
and something that shouldn't be shocking to anyone who has even a mild a passing interest in music. It's hard for Canadian bands to break in the U.S.
Yeah,
traditionally.
Yeah, I mean,
when you think of,
and they're given a leg up because of the Canadian content, right? The Canadian broadcasting has to play and feature their music.
Exactly,
that's Canadian in origin.
So I'd like to hear it. Actually,
so that gives people a big leg up.
I'm interested.
There you go. All right. This is where I say this is our lone jazz record to talk about today. This is another one that snuck out into last year on CD. The LP is finally available. People have been really asking for the LP. Wow. This is the Bill Charlap Trio. Street of Dreams is his latest record, and for people that aren't familiar with him, Bill has played with Jerry Mulligan and Tony Bennett. At times, his trio has been called telepathic with how they play together. I mean, he's really an amazing player. A lot of standards on here. I think the point of reference is Bill Evans and Dave Brubeck. I mean, that's really what he's channeling. He's one of the great living piano players of today. And this record, sonically, people are just talking about what an amazing sounding record.
Doing The Duke by Dave Brubeck. Your host, Kim Burrell. Man, cool.
Yeah, it's a great record.
Yeah.
If you don't own many jazz records, this is a good one to kick off the new year
from our friends at Blue Note.
Blue Note, and you know what? We talk about so many reissues from Blue Note. It's nice to talk about a new artist because they are still in the new artist business. Another record that snuck out at the end of last year that we didn't talk about. This is more of an international release, but made it to the States a little bit late. Self-titled album by a band called Hard Feelings, which might not mean much to people other than the fact that it's Joe Goddard from Hot Chip.
Right.
Beloved dance music, electronica music. And Amy Douglas, she's a fantastic singer associated with this band, Force Meat Disco and DFA. Firmly in the disco house music realm. And people are talking about this record that it's scratches that itch if you're into it at all. And she's a terrific singer.
So as they're letting us know here, at the intersection of new wave synth pop inspired pop music and full on dance majesty. Double LP. And you get a download code too. That's amazing.
That's a good sleep face. Let's see that.
This one? You ready?
Yeah. That's actually really good.
So glad that you're amused.
Oh yeah, that was genuine amusement.
Thank you.
Okay,
this looks interesting.
Here's a band that this is their 2021
oh my God.
album. They came back, snatched it from the edge of oblivion.
Good Lord.
This is Green Jelly.
Jesus.
Which we remember as launching as Green Jello, and as soon as they did that,
they were sued.
Started flying.
Sure.
And then you become Green Jelly.
Bill Cosby threatened to beat him up personally.
And
come to your house to kick you. Never mind.
And this is, this had to be on here because it's such a good. I mean, the graphic is so great.
It's amazing. It's like obviously the garbage. It's Garbage Band Kids, not Garbage Pail Kids. I wonder if they got the same artists to do it.
It looks like it,
right?
So this is, the back of the album is Garbage Pail Kid inspired cards with graphics that I guess are the band members and or songs, but a record that's as cool to look at as it probably is listed. This is on limited edition green vinyl. Again, the return of this band should be pretty fun to listen if you like your metal and wacky and theatrical.
There was a couple of those bands. Remember, they all came out at the same time.
Yes.
Wasn't it like Ugly Kid Joe and all those bands were like
they had the chainsaw?
It was like the wacky metal. No, Ugly Kid Joe were the surfer kids. Like, I think both of the videos were on like Venice Beach, and they were just hopping around in the baggy short.
It's hard to keep it straight.
It's hard to keep
We're going to
do
it. Maybe we'll just have to do a whole.
We've got a shout out or two. Alice, of course, watching as she always does.
Thanks, Alice.
David and LaShawn Crawford watching. Day Falahi. I hope I'm saying that. Good to see all of you guys. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for tuning in.
Let's go.
Let's go. Got a couple of reissues here of note. And this is a really, really important record, which oddly enough has not been available in the United States. This is a European copy. We sourced it from Europe. And this is I'm not going to be able to say, but it's a Tropicalia compilation for those that aren't familiar with that. That is the Brazilian musical movement that happened in the 60s.
Right.
And this is the album that launched the whole thing. This is Gilberto Gil, Caetano Veloso, Tom Zé, Os Mutantes. I mean, the marquee names of the genre and some of their finest recordings. And this is the record that really kind of punched through worldwide to bring this in. Due to the oppressive regime, you know, all these artists ended up in the UK or Europe. But this is the record that launched all, and this is cool because it comes with the CD. I like that. You can buy the LP, and on the way home to take the, you know, if you have a CD player in your car, you can listen to it full. Very cool. Great sound. But if you're trying to figure out Brazilian pop music of the '60s, which you should, this is the record.
That's the one.
That's the
Love it.
Grab it.
Love it.
Okay, and this is a fun record.
All right.
This is a great story. So the Heartbreakers, which is Walter Lure, most notably Johnny Thunders.
Johnny Thunders.
But Walter Lure, Jerry Nolan, New York Dolls.
Yep.
This record, Post Dolls record, one of the, you know, I think look to proto-punk, you know, hard rock records. As released, they'd lost the master tapes. So the version that everybody's been listening to for decades is not what was intended for release.
Oh, very interesting.
But, and then, so it says here, the original 1977 master found in an attic.
Holy smokes.
Again, snatching it back from the edge of oblivion. So you got a two-disc, the original 77 masters plus all the demos. And if you love Johnny Thunders, this is a must-have.
Yes.
You know,
I know one local Houston band that's very excited if they're watching this.
Yeah, totally. I think the vinyl had been a record store day piece, and I think they probably already picked that up. But you know, if you're a fan of especially, you know, New York or LA hard rock, you know, you don't get to like stuff like
right
without these guys.
Right.
That's how
that's
that
a good one.
That is a good one. And that's it for music today. Right. But we wanted to, you know, I personally want to say, you know, goodbye to Ronnie Spector.
Absolutely, we lost an incredible voice, and
I love girl groups from the time I was a kid. And
absolutely,
there's, you know, no greater voice.
Absolutely,
than her.
They had Little Steven on Sirius last night, I think, and he jumped on for a minute because, you know, he features a lot of the old 60s stuff, and he talked about how much like him and Bruce would listen to like
Be My Baby,
and just all of those bands, and then they were so, like everybody else was, you were just so transfixed by those vocals and those harmonies that, you know, like he said, seep their way into the E Street Band.
I love that. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
There's the big that's I think what's interesting about Bruce is the whole wall of sound thing. They took that California wall of sound thing and made it East Coast.
I mean, think about how many people had no idea who she was until she did the collab with Eddie Money.
Yeah, totally.
Like
Skip's generation.
Like, hey, that chick in that video is pretty good.
She is awesome. Will be missed. It sounded great. You know, I think Steven produced a record with her like 6 years ago.
Yep,
and
you talked about that.
Was still amazing.
Yeah.
So
just golden.
Goodbye,
golden
Ronnie.
Voice.
You'll be missed. And also wanted to preview a couple. There's been some big new release announcements.
Do it.
That are coming up this year. We'll do them in order. Again, not the first one is a big, you know, a major artist, but
you know what this means?
Yes.
It's 2 minutes in TV.
Oh, we got it. So, got it. There's a new Eddie Vedder record, solo record.
Yeah, I heard about that.
In February 11th.
And,
you know, where the other records have been something unusual about them to make them kind of their own thing, this is a straight down the middle Eddie Vedder solo record. The single is Freeway is awesome. It's going to be big. With Beach House on February 18th. Great band, beloved with indie rockers. And then Part 2, Khruangbin and Leon Bridges.
Oh, man.
The Texas Moon records. We already had Texas Sun. We got
what
Texas
a bummer
Moon
on the New Year's Eve show, man. But
I think
and
collective sigh.
Collective sigh, but we're hoping to see them soon.
Yep. And then on April 18th, which is around Record Store Day, new Father John Misty record, one of the great weirdos.
I heard the single on Sirius the other day. All right, guys, here's the deal. We're going to wrap this up a little bit early because I have something else to do, but we will be back next Thursday at 12:30. There's always going to be a ton of new cool stuff coming out that you guys want to know about. And as always, you can come to the store, see the man himself in person, get a personally guided tour of what you need to be listening to.
Would you sign me up for?
I don't know. Okay. He's actually never here. He's playing golf most of the time. It's
I don't play golf.
He just wheels up in the rolls for this one, jumps out, you know, in the silver shadow, whatever that is. It's beautiful though. I need to borrow it sometime. All right, we're out of here. Anything else? Do we cover it all?
I think we got it.
All right, guys, we're out of here. Goodbye. Thanks for being with us at the drop. See you later.